How's it going, everybody? Goldhat here, and welcome back to the channel. This is going to be entry 27 of my Mafia Definitive Edition Achievement Walkthrough Guide. We are going to be focusing on the 20 Terror Tales collectibles. Now, there's going to be 15 of them through free ride and 5 through chapter repeat, so without further ado, let's jump right in. So I'm going to start with all the ones that you can get in free ride, and there's going to be 15 of them. The first one is going to be on this location of the map. We're going to start out in the country and kind of loop our way back into the city. So here is our first location. Once we arrive, it's going to be over here by this shack up the stairs, and it will be right on the ground. Next up is going to be in the country as well. It's going to be right under Lake Fear. It's going to be right here on your map. And once we pull up, it's going to be behind the lake house, and it's going to be on the dock at the very end. Next up is going to be at the dam on the other side. Here's the location on your map. And once we arrive, it's going to be over here on the deck. Next up for number 4, it is going to be over here by the pond. And this one's going to be over here on the end by the chair. Next up for number 5, it's going to be on the far right of the map, and it's going to be right under that motel. Here's the location. And this one's going to be right on top of this little well right over here. Now that we're looping back into the city, we're going to stop in HOLBROOK, and here is the location on the map. And this one's going to be under the highway. We're just going to jump into this little room, and it's going to be on this little mattress. So right next to that one is going to be the HOLBROOK Park, and that is going to be our next location. And this one's going to be on a chair over here in these slum houses. So we are going to head south to Oakwood, and that is going to be at the OAKWOOD Church. Here's the location. And once we arrive, we're going to come up these steps, and it's going to be right at the front entrance, right on the porch. And right down the street from that, we can stay in Oakwood. Here's the location on your map. And this is where we planted that bomb at, and that woman blowed up, and it's going to be right over here on the right behind the fence. Next up is going to be in the back of Beach Hill. And that's going to be a house back here. We're just going to drive up the driveway, and it will be over here on the right. Next up is going to be in Central Island, right next to the Giuliani Bridge. And once we arrive, we can come out to these docks, and it is going to be on the one on the left, and it will be at the very end. Next up, we're going to head to Chinatown. Here's the location on your map. And this one's going to be through the alleyway, and it's going to be 2 or 3 blocks, and then it will be on the left. And the next 3 are going to be in the quarter. Here is our first one. Here's the location. Once we arrive, it is going to be over here on the right, and we are just going to keep going down. It is going to be on this dock. And it's going to be right next to this guy looking out into the water. Next up is going to be right next to the central rail station, right next to the quarters, and that is going to be right here on the map. And once we arrive, we're going to go through these fence, and it will be right over here on the right. And for our last one in free ride, that is going to still be in the work quarters, and that is going to be right here on the map. And now that we pulled up here, we are going to jump the fence, and it's going to be right on that lumber pile. So next up, we are going to go through the chapter select ones, and there are 5. Here's the first one. It's going to be in chapter 9, a trip to the country. These are all going to be in the order as they come through the campaign. So our first one is going to be a trip to the country, and this is where we're defending Sam, and right below us is where our Terror Tales is going to be, and I will show you that shortly. Next up is going to be chapter 10. Once we're looking for clues and we're going to go to this bar, it's going to be at the bar. We're just going to run in here and talk to this guy for the campaign. But if we go over here to the right at the bar, it is going to be our 17th Terror Tale. Next up is going to be chapter 12, Great Deal. Once that fire starts and we need to go and turn that water on, we're going to go through here, and it's going to be right next to that lever. And it's going to be right here on the right at that desk. Next up for chapter 17, that is going to be election campaign. Right after we do that sniper scope shot, we are going to fall down here, and once we wake back up, we're going to kick through this door, and it's going to be on an office desk. So for our last one is going to be in chapter 20, The Death of Art. Once we are running through these 2 hallways with all the art storage, we are going to have this desk over here on the right, and that is going to be 20 for 20 of the Terror Tales collectibles. As always, I hope this walkthrough guide has been super helpful. If it has been, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. If you have any questions at any time, you can drop a comment down below, or you can hit me up personally on my Instagram. The link is in the description box, and I will see you guys next time. Gold Hat, signing off.